Erev Rosh Hashana Tovshin Ayin Tes. The new year is about to come upon us. A few days from now, we'll be standing the first Ma'ariv of the year. First Ma'ariv of the year. First Ma'ariv of the year. We'll be trying to get our focus the upcoming year, Rosh Hashana, but there's a seemingly difficult duel that sees us on Rosh Hashana. On one hand, we feel, we should feel a certain pachad, as the Gemara tells us, the Mishnah says that we don't. The Gemara says that we don't say Hallel on Rosh Hashana. Of Lamed Beis and Beis 32b, the Sefta Rosh Hashana. We don't say Hallel on Rosh Hashana. The Gemara says Sifrei Chaim v'Sifrei Meisim Psuchim Lefanov. A very serious day. The Rambam says that we don't say Hallel over the Rambam Mishnahs. So the Yira, the Fachad, days of tremendous fear. Malachim Yechaveizu. Hinei Yom Adin. And we're walking around, and the Metzias today, as though I'm missing a certain pacha. It used to be, Chaim, Yisroel Salanta said, used to be that the words Elul, when somebody said the words Elul, Kol Echad Ochsa Palotus, there was a feeling of trembling. Leil Slichas, the first Slichas, now with the old pictures and the old times, the guy, the Shamish go around banging. Stayum for Shlichas, stayum for Shlichas, get up for Shlichas, they bang on the shutters in the start. People were mamish trembling, it's Shlichas night. It's a short time to Yom Adin. Sifrei Chaim v'Sifrei Meisim. Not only that, everything that's Nichlal and Chaim. Health, Parnasa, Hatzlocha, success. Rabbi said it's a pella. I'm talking to myself also. Where are we? Where are we? How could it be? 3 days, 4 days before Rosh Hashana, the same exact. You would think right now it's Tu B'Shvat. You know, past the carrots. Start eating the boxer. Tu B'Shvat Hikiya Chaga Ilanot. You think it's Tu B'Shvat now? There's any recognition that in 3 days, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday night, starting in Sunday night, this Sunday night, everything is coming to an end. Whatever was till now, it's finished. There's no chazakis. The person could have had a great year last year and everything good. Then, the new year, the new judgment, Rabbi said. What are we doing? Where are we? Without a little worried? The guy has a court case. I've heard from Bachman. Rebbe, I'm very nervous. What are you so nervous about, Yankel? Pfeffer corn. I'm so nervous, Rebbe. I got this thing in the mail. Parking ticket. They want me in the court. I had speeding ticket. I went 65 in a 55 limit zone. They're calling me down to the courts. I'm very, very nervous. What's going to be ready? $150 ticket. And he said it's Tiferes because he has to face the judge. And here we're going in front of the Melech, the judge of all judges. With that judge, you go in. You don't do that with Vashek Tircha, but a little white lie won't hurt anybody, they think. And you can lie your way through the thing, or you go before him, you say, listen, Judge, how you doing? We could be friends. You whip out your wallet and say, listen, you don't know who my dad is, CEO of Starbucks. If you ever need a coffee, give me a call. So you walk in there, the judge is bribed already, the judge is, so, but you're still nervous. You might have to cough up $150. And here, you're going into the judge who can't be bribed, who sees through everything. Are we real? And here, we're going to be judged by somebody who's going to pass not only on the $150 ticket, but everything that's going to happen this year. And we know that people went through last year, they didn't have such good years. And people had better years, and everything was nigzal last year, Rosh Hashana. So it's a nafkamina how we approach Rosh Hashana. But if you don't want it, sorry, not doing it. Sorry, not just. I would like maybe if you had a sunflower seeds, it's much more good noise in the back. The popcorn is different. So it's a serious time, The Rambam says that the Rambam's explanation that's serious, and we have to be a little bit more. But the first question is why? Why is it that no one is even a little bit scared? Why is it there any movement towards thinking about Rosh Hashanah, except for one thing? Where am I eating the second day meal? This is the most perplexing and difficult thing for me at this time. Should I go to Ramat Eshkol or to Romema? The walk to here is a long. You're being judged alive! Second day meal. She makes better kishka. Everything's being judged. That's what you're worried about, the kishka. What's the Tiferes of us? Second, we have to understand that on the other hand, and this is the paradox of the day, Rabbi said, in Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik Zayin, it's brought that we're not supposed to fast on Rosh Hashanah. And the reason being, there's a chiyuv of simcha. We're supposed to be sameach on Rosh Hashanah. And the Yeshiva Paskins, where do we know this from? V'samachta b'chagecha. Everybody sings that song only on Sukkot. That's not true. Anything that's called a chag. And since it says Ba'kesa, the Yom Chagei, and the Gemara learns out Rosh Hashanah, Ba'kesa Yom Chageinu, that's referring to Rosh Hashanah. Therefore, Rosh Hashanah being called a chag, there's a chiyuv of simcha. You have to eat basar, drink some wine, a little bit of wine, not too much wine, but you should be in a mood of simcha. On one hand, I'm being judged. On one hand, I'm being meted out the entire year, and the second thing, I'm at the same time, I have to be b'sameach. How is those two things jive? The pasuk says in this week's parsha, "Atem nitzovim hayoim kulchem lifnei Hashem Elokeichem." You're standing before Hashem Elokeichem, Rosheichem, Shiftechem, Shotreichem, Zikneichem, Kol Ish Yisroel, Tapchem, L'Sheichem, L'Orvachol. The Zohar says, whenever it says Hayoim, and Yom is referring to Rosh Hashana, Rosh Hashana. The Atzem Nitzavim Hayoim Kulchem L'fnei Hashem Elokeinu, the parsha is very apropos. Nitzavim Hayoim Kulchem L'fnei Hashem Elokeinu. La'avrecha b'vris, the stand of the bris. The opening lines of this week's parsha is very mekusher. We see, and that's we see the judgment of Boisai. Also, that it doesn't just say Atam Nitzavim and we end there. The Torah is very specific, each one in their place. This has a more ramification besides the fact that we know, and the judgment, everybody's judged separately. We don't go in together. Everybody passes before Hashem, Kifnei Moroin, as a single individual in his own deeds. But at the same time, we have to understand this kesher of Atem Nitzavim Hayon Kulchem. The word Nitzavim means to stand firm. What's the pshat? We stand firm. Hello, if it's la'avrecha b'bris v'va'alasai, it's something that was going in front of Hashem for a bris of the 98 clothes, and a few were saying it's the avrecha. The chayra, a person would be in a matzav of shivering and shuddering, and all in a matzav not standing firm. What's the lashon mitzvah? And the last question I want to deal with, Rabbi, is the Gemara Rosh Hashana. The Gemara tells us that there's 4 times a year we're judged. The Pesach on the Tfuah, Mishnah, Daf Tezayin, on the Alpha Rosh Hashana. B'Sukkos on Mayim, Shmuez, we judge Peres Elon, and Rosh Hashana called Echad Oiver L'fon of the Gemara. Hashem judging each individual. And the Gemara says that there are segulot, there are things that we should do on each Chag in order to bring about the Yeshua. It says on Pesach, bring the korban ha'omer, the tefillah, in order that you misbarech the tefillah, the judge for tefillah. On the Tiferes, it says to bring the shtei alechem, which also it's going to be ratzah pe'es either shem meratinas halavi bikurim. Well, it says because the Eichel Chol Marisha was a tchita, maybe we. So would you judge for the Peres Elon? So we do something that's looking at Peres Elon, Ayin Sham. The Imru L'fanei Malchus Rosh Hashana. Say in front of me Malchus Rosh Hashana. Kidei Shetal Les V'chonem L'vracha. In order that your Zechuya, your remembrance, you should say the in of Malchus, that Pesukim of Malchus, that you should make me a king over you. That your remembrance should come in front of you for good. And with the shofar. So these are the school of these days, the Malchus, the shofars of Musaf, have a big school of these days to be Zocha B'din, that's the parsha Gemara. But we have to understand, how does this work? And I mean to say, I understand Malchus. We blow the shofar and we say Psuki Malchus, we coronate Hashem as the king. Today he is the king of the world because he is reestablishing his Malchus, a new world. Every year is a new world. We're mamlechim as the king, and by subjugating us to be the king, he's the king. So we have a skula for Atzloch. Shofar, you blow the shofar. When the Paiskim, it brings its parameters on Matan Torah. It's also tremendous. But what is Zichroinus of Islam? What is the Maila of Zichroinus? What is the whole Iyun of the Bracha of Zichroinus? Zichroinus, Rashi, the Gemara says, Kishetaytala Zichronecha L'fon HaTorah. Because you say the Iyun of Zichroinus, so your Bimala Zichronechem, my remembering of you will go up the front of the Torah. By just being masked in of Zichroinus. What's the pshat of this? So I heard recently a certain Shmuez from Shore in America. I was listening to it, and he said a murder of Nikuda, and through that I wanted to answer a lot of the questions. It was different Shmuez, but the Maisa said about the Nikuda, which I had a lot of historians from, and I feel that it's a tremendous historian of myself. he was coming to Mazba this Yisod. Why is it that no one is feeling Rosh Hashana? Jews, all the generations, the old pictures of Yidden, as we mentioned before, there was a feeling, there was a recognition for Rosh Hashana. What is the pshat? It's mind-boggling. But the parsha pshat is because we don't think. Everything moves on. Rosh Hashana is coming, September 9th. By September 15th is Yom Kippur, and that's it. Sukkot is on its way. Jib jab, and everything passes by, we move on. So he was masbeh, a beautiful pshat. But it's based, there's only a sefer that explains it, the Gemara in Avodah Zarah. Because Rosh Hashana is also, Rabbi say, the first of the Tiferes you made tshuva. And the question is very strong. How could it be the first of the Tiferes you made tshuva? We're not allowed to even mention the word chet. We're not allowed to eat a walnut because the gematria chet. So how are you doing tshuva on Rosh Hashana if you can't mention your chatoim? No walnuts. Those are the big shahs I always get every year. Not how to do tshuva. Big shah, ding, ding, ding. It's Rosh Hashana. What's the shah? Oh, what's the stage? This how do I correct it? No. My wife baked the cake last week, and she put some walnut sugar in it, a little bit. Is she allowed to eat the cake on Rosh Hashana? I asked, why are you so worried? Well, it's gematria chet. Walnut, a gematria chet. That's all it is, a gematria chet. What about chet itself is also a gematria chet? That we're not worried about. We're only worried. You might picture the scene by saying, Rosh Hashanah, the wife comes out, dessert, and he sees his wife, and she says, what did you bake for honey for Rosh Hashanah night? I baked your favorite cake, walnut avocado peach cake. Walnut cake! He embarrasses her in front of the whole thing. Ein lo chelet lo olam haba. How in the world can you do such a thing? It's the gematria chet. And what are you doing? Chet! Without the gematria. So he's all knowing about the walnut cake. That's the big showers you get now. Bata b'roiv, bata b'shishim, showers and chuvas, hilchos walnut. On Rosh Hashana. It's 2 volumes. But the Rabbi said, at the end of the day, we're not supposed to even mention chet. So how in the world do we have? How in the world is it shaykh, Rabbi say? To do, what's the truth of Rosh Hashana? The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah test. I'm sorry, it's a different one. The Gemara introduces us to a very interesting, special, great Jew. Why am I saying that? Because that was his ishtalshalos. The man was called Rabbi Lezer ben Durdaya. And Rabbi Lezer ben Durdaya had a fickle issue. He enjoyed being with Zionists, Rahman al-Islam, prostitution. And it says that he wasn't a Zion in the world, that he didn't. At one time he heard about a Zionah, special Zionah all across the seas. He traveled the 7 seas. He took all the money in the world, Mesiras Nefesh. Maral says that he had all the Mesiras Nefesh, b'chol levavcha, b'chol nafsha, b'chol moedecha, that Mesiras Nefesh, to go to do a chet. The kid said something happened, and he went away. And he realized, it hit him like a rock, that he has to do something about it. She said something, that you're not going to be Mekal B'tshuva, and he decided, that's it, I got to change. But he didn't know what to do, so he went to the mountains, and he said, Bikshu alai rachim. ask for me rachamim now on her, that Hashem should accept me back. We have to ask for ourselves, we can't help you. He went to Shemayim v'Oretz, asked for rachamim. We said, if we ask for you, let's ask for ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. He went, the Chaim, the sun and the moon, big Shlai Rachamim. He said, the Chaim said, we have to ask for ourselves, we can't help you. The kids said, he went to the Kochov and the Mazalos, big Shlai Rachamim, they said the same thing. Oh man, look, the Halo Guru wasn't been to die. Omar, Eina Dover Tohu Yelobi. It's only Tohu in me. Hiniach Roishuk and Birkov. He put his head between his legs. The God, the Bechia. He cried out, Achiyotza Nishmosoi. Yotza Baskov Omro. The Lezer Ben Dunaya Mezumin, Chaye Oilam Habor. The Lezer Ben Dunaya. Is Mithum in the Chaye, Olam Haba. Bocha Rabbi. Yesh Koino Olam B'Kam Shonim, Yesh Koino Olam B'Shoachas. Then they called him Rabbi. Rabbi Elazar ben Dudaya. This Gemara is fascinating in many levels. Rav Shor brought from a Mefarsh that said a Memuyer the Kipshat. And it's the answer to all the reasons why we're not afraid of Yom Adin. It's very simple, Rabbi Isai. Because society has spoiled us, society has ripped us off, has robbed us. The society has taught us one of the most terrible lessons, and we live with this lesson in our entire life. A man comes to a courthouse. He comes to the courthouse. He had just murdered his mother, his father, his brother, his sister, and the whole neighborhood. He machine gunned them down. He comes into the courthouse with his lawyer, protected lawyer, and the lawyer tells him, put your head down. Mr. Smith, yes. Don't raise your head too much. Yes. Why did you commit this murder? I come from a broken home. Well, now it's really broken. The judge looks at him. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of issues. I don't know who my mother is, nor my father. I'm a Sufi. Okay, Mr. Smith, 2 months. And if you're good, you'll get out in 27 days. For good measures. So you can kill more people. Have a nice day. Next case. Next case is Rubashkin, 74 years. Anyway, Bekitza, what's the pshat, Rabbi Isai? Society has taught us that we can live without any achrayus. We are not responsible for anything that happens. It's not my fault. Nothing. It's not my fault. What do you want? This happened when I was a young child. I had a Rebbe. He made faces. He had a twitch. Turned me over learning. Potter! My daddy's back. He wants Okay, Potter, what do? You got to take one dog. We're not saying that's right of us. But a person has to understand. He brought from some Mefarsh in the Chor and said this was the Pshat of Elazar ben Dudaya. He was running to all the different things. The one says, you're the one. You big shalai rachim because it's your fault. You caused me. The weather. Yeah, he brought some Mefarsh who said that there are 4 different types of things that cause a person to to not take the blame on themselves. Parents, teachers, this, that. You can usually even explain which one from this before in some shop. But the Yisroel is we can make our own things. The weather, too hot in my country, rains too much in my country, makes me sad. Every day there's rain. What expect of me? How can I be a happy guy? Every day you wake up, drip, drop, drip, drop. My country has too much sun. I can't take the sun anymore. This, what are they supposed to do? This happened, and that happened, and this happened. So what's the soif pasuk Rabbi side? I don't take any blame. I have no responsibility whatsoever. And therefore, everything is potter. I don't have to, so of course you're not worried about Yom Adin. Because I'm potter! What do you want? I'm broken. I have no responsibility for myself. And therefore I can do whatever I want. Whatever happens is okay. Move on. Next. I don't have to take responsibility myself. I don't have to get up in the morning. I don't have to do anything with my life. I just lay in the bed and wait till it's over. Just roll me out of the room into the morgue. 75 years, Choni Hamago, Yeshiva's Choni Hamago. Sign me up. 70 years. I'm not responsible. What do you want? When I was a young kid, you have to understand, my grandfather was a strict man. And he woke me up every day at 9:30 for minute. I wanted to go to the 10:15 in Chabad. I have trauma. Terrible trauma. I can't get up anymore. Oh, Grandpa, if you would have realized. So a potter, nothing means anything. Nothing I have to do because I'm not responsible for myself. If you're not responsible for yourself, so the din doesn't mean anything. Because the whole Yisroel of Rosh Hashana, the whole Yisroel of din is that you are responsible. Because you have a tafkid in this world. You're not here to just eat jelly beans, Mike and Ike's. That's not what you're here for. You're not here to eat bamba and bisli. Even if you like it, you can enjoy it, but that's not what you're here for. You're not even here to be a CEO of a company. That's not what you're here for. That's how you make your living. You're here for a tafkid, to bring kavod shemayim to the boirei olam. That's what a person's here for. And when a person understands that that's what he's here for, as the Mishnah writes in the first, it's in Chelik Aleph, in the first, Mishnah writes, the first simon, we open up the Shulchan Aruch Rabbi. They say Rabbi Lopian used to get up very early in the morning. And when he was an old man, he was still getting up very late. And they told him, his children, his grandchildren said, Zaydeh, you've been an old man. Sleep a little longer. Golf doesn't start till 10:30. 4 irons, 80. What are you getting up so early? I knew when you're younger. You're an old man. Said Rabbi Lopian, in a few years, not a long time, I'm going to move up to the next world. And they're going to open up the Shulchan Aruch. And they'll state, okay, your name's Rabbi Leo. Lopian, yes. You did what you're supposed to? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's open up the Shulchan Aruch. First halacha. Yiskaber ka'ari, la'moy ba'boika, la'avoidas boiro. You don't want to get caught in the first one, Rabbi said. You get caught somewhere, Choshim Mishpat Reish Lamed Gimel. But in the first halacha, you don't want to be caught, he said. Says the Mechaber, Yiskaber ka'ari, la'avoidas aboiro, ba'boika, la'avoidas aboiro. Says the Mishnah Berurah, the first Mishnah Berurah, Ki lechach nivra ha'adam. Kimo she'omar ha'kosov, kol ha'nikra b'shmi v'lechroi v'yidou have a tafkid, service of Hashem. You are responsible. I don't care who your grandpappy was. And I don't care who your Rebbe did to you when you were younger. You are responsible for yourself. You can't get away with saying this, as Rabbi Elazar thought. It's the stars, it's the moon, whatever the Rebbe is. You can't get away because the person is responsible. And the fact that he had that Nisayan is his Nisayan. Everybody has a pattern. I'm involved with so many people. Everybody has Nisayans. But the number one thing you have to understand is, and that's what Rosh Hashana is all about, I am responsible for my life. Ein hadover tolu Elohi. No one can affect my life, and no one can change my life, only myself. Says Rabbi Yoina in Shashai, Im ein anili mili. Says Rabbi Yoina, I'm going to add living to it. You can have all the greatest speakers in the world. Rabbi Pesach Kron, Rabbi Yisroel friend will bring them down for a convention, special Tshuva drasha, and I'll sit there and make beautiful drasha. Oh wow, that was amazing. You know what will be at the end, Rabbi Sai? Efes. Al tikri epis, ela efes. No al tikri. 0. Oh wow, what a drasha. Rabbi, great Shmuez, all turned on for Rosh Hashana. Now I'm going to really be machlik where I'm eating second day. Till now it was a suffix, I think I'll eat closer. If you don't make a move and a change in yourself, you decide, I'm going to take responsibility. Ein hadover tolu Elohi. I'm the only one who can change. But if I take it, and if I go with it, you can become Rabbi. You can become in 1 second Rabbi. Elazar. You can become a Gadol. You can be Kohen Olamai. But it's only the realization. Ein hadover tolu Elohi. Not my Rebbe, and not my grandmother, but me. I have to take responsibility. I have to realize that I was born, and I was created for a purpose. And am I doing that purpose? Am I taking responsibility for who I am and what I'm supposed to be? What's the difference with myself between an Adam and a Behem? You learn Baba Kama. The halacha is if an animal damages, we don't hold the animal responsible. Who's responsible? The owner. The behema has no responsibility. The owner is in charge. Adam, shmiras kufoy olav. He's the only one responsible. An animal has no responsibility for his actions. You can't blame the animal for trouncing on that yerek, on those vegetables, destroying the vegetable patch. You can't blame the animal for breaking through the window and destroying the house. You only blame the owner, because an animal has no das, it doesn't understand what responsibility is. But an Adam is a Baal Achrayis. Adam shmiras kufoy olav. Afilu to the point that the Gemara says, Adam muad la'olam, that even when you go to sleep, you're responsible for what you're doing in your sleep. Chloik is new, responsible, because that's the touch of Adam. That's the level that we go up above the behavior of us. If you want a tiny, you're not responsible, get down on your fours and start going around. We'll serve Alpo for you if it's their dinner. Alpo is a dog company. Serve good dog food. You want human food? Be a human. Take responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions. You come into a room at night and your roommates are sleeping. I know it's been on to mention, but I heard recently that there are problems with this. People come into the room at 1 in the morning and they put on the light and start making noises, banging closets. The roommate is sleeping, a guy's sleeping soundly with sound. Sorry, just looking for a bobby pin. It's very important that I clip my yarmulke. I don't want to go to sleep without a yarmulke. Bah! The whole room has to get up because he's shaking the closet and he calls his grandma, Grandma! Sorry guys, a little too loud for you. Do you have any more bobby pins? Guys are sleeping in your room. I know you want to speak to your grandmother right now, but they're sleeping. Where's your responsibility? Where's your responsibility? You're a human being. Take responsibility for your actions. That's what Rosh Hashana is all about, I say. And when a person starts to think that I'm responsible, there's a fear. Taka responsible. Being held responsible. So what do I have to answer? But at the same time, on my side, that gives gewaltige simcha. Because I know that if I could be responsible, and I was responsible for my averis, and I am held responsible, but I can also be masakin. I can fix it up. Called man, she'efshlis lekalkel, efshel letake. The same one who's held responsible realizes that the same koyach that I can go ahead and really mess up, and that's what I made up dinner studies here. But I can go ahead and make an unbelievable tikkun. And that's the start of tshuva. That's why Rosh Hashana is the day of Aseret Shmei Tshuva. Because until you can understand that you're being judged and being held responsible for your actions, you'll never be able to fix anything. Because if you just think like the whole world teaches us to think, but I come from a broken situation, and I come from this, and I come from that, and I'm not responsible, so how are you going to go fix it up? There's nothing to fix up. But once there's a realization, deep realization, that I'm a human being and I was given koichos, and my specific cause for me, Atem nitzovim hayoim, you stand firm, Rosheichem, Shiftechem, Ziknechem, everybody individual, Fi Mashahu, with his tafkid. That's this parsha, you stand on Rosh Hashana, you're over the fun of individually, because you each have a specific avodah that you're held responsible. You're not held responsible to be Rabbi Kiva Eiga, and not the Rosh Yeshiva right now. And not even, you're held responsible to be Yankel Pfefferkorn. That's what you're held responsibility. But take responsibility. Stand up firm and say, I take responsibility. Or you're gonna be judged for it. And you might have to chas v'sholem endure something for it. But you took responsibility. And maybe, just maybe, if you take responsibility and you have that realization in Rosh Hashana, so you can be sakin and be zerah to a year of fixing up and a year of unbelievable siyat d'shmaya, and you won't have to go through anything. But the first step in Rosh Hashana is to realize that the judgment is a message, a statement. I hold you responsible. But in that same statement, the parsha says, I believe in you. Because if I didn't believe in you, I wouldn't hold you responsible. I know you have the koyos. I know you can do it. And that's growing tremendous simcha of myself. So the pacha and the simcha is no stira. But regular that I understand, and I have a pacha, it's because I know I'm held responsible. And I did mess up. But I messed up because I did something with my own koyches, and I messed up, so the same person can do sakin. So that realization that that's going the pachad can be going unbelievable simcha, because comes mancha efshel lekalkel, efshel lesakin. So it's no stira to this paradox. It's a yom of pachad or noira, but at the same time, it's a day of simcha, tzuma, chedvas Hashem u'uzchem, the day that we have to know b'simcha. Because we will come to that, hopefully that Hakara or Rosh Hashana, that I can be the greatest person, I can become Rebbe, I can teach the world something that the world doesn't know, because everybody's a Rebbe in some areas. And this is what we have to work on. And this is the only way we're going to become great. Because if we go and attach every problem, oh, you know why I didn't get up this morning? It's not my fault. My roommate, I didn't get up this morning, it's this, it's that, it's this machine, I have addiction, it's this, it's that. No, it's me. I made a mistake. I'm doing something wrong. I can be so much better. That's the first step of the turnaround of Sefer Yeshiva. Yom Rosh Hashana could be a day that we just pass by, go through the motions, daven a little stronger, but we remain the same person. The same person that's doima lebeheim. We don't take any advice. Put the blame on my Rabbi, my Rosh Yeshiva, and give me a good chavrusa. It's this, it's that. And we walk out, we daven nicely, but there was no change. And it's so chaval, my son. So chaval. The David Hashem Oiri. Oiri, Zu Rosh Hashana. It's a new Oiri, you can be zecher, my son. A new enlightenment. You can really find yourself for the first time in your lives. Really get in contact with who you are. Realize that you're a person with a responsibility and a tafkid. And that's, by the way, Zichronis. What is Zichronis all about, Rabbi San? Shoifras, I understand, Shoifras. Blow the Shoifra for Shoifras. Malchias, coronation, what's Zichronis? Zichronis of Riyas Boi Pokedu. To understand, each one being judged on their malalolim and their avoider, what you're supposed to be doing with your lives. Look at the Lashonis of Zichronis. You have a tafkid. That's what you're getting reward for. Schar v'oines zichronis, because you have a tafkid and you're here, because the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants you to accomplish something. Then in that you're going to get unbelievable reward. Koin oilamoi, v'yesh koin oilamoi v'shoachas. You can be koin that oilam in one moment on Rosh Hashana. When you have that hirut tshuva and you think to yourself, Ein hadover tov ha'elamim. No, this year's going to be different. This year's not going to be a year I'm going to start blaming, play the blame game on this and on that, on that and on this. I'm going to take the bull by the horns and I'm becoming Odom. I'm going to say to myself, no, I'm responsible. I made a mistake. I did wrong. But that same I can make an unbelievable thing. I have so much koshos, and a Kodesh Baruch Hu believes in me. And that's why he's giving me a din, because he wants me to accept that I made a mistake and this year I can correct it. And he believes I can change. And that's why he's giving me a Seres Shemei Tshuva. And he's coming to me, Dirshu Hashem B'Yimotzo, and sticking out his hand and say, I will help you. Open up a small hole, as the Chazal say, Pischuli Pesach Kechudoi Shomachat. Open me a hole. Like opening up a machat, that's all you have to do, Rabbi say. Opening up a machat, that's all. And you have to machat, the Moshe wants to open. So much suffering in the world. So many things. It's all Rosh Hashana. And the person wants one thing. I didn't even tell you that he wants to have a connection with us. He wants us to fulfill our task. He believes in us so much. We have to believe in ourselves. And if we make that change, we open the heart a little bit. See, but this is going to be different. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to start to move forward. I know you believe in me. Please, Rabbi, give me the koyches. Help me. Give me. Pour on the shefa. Rabbi wants to so much. You open up your hearts. Rabbi will open up the Shemayim. Kipizcha Shmuel. And he'll bench us. Chasimas in the table. He'll bench the year of Hatzlach and Bracha and Hanosa. a year that we'll finally recognize who we really are, and we'll stand this year proud that we did it. Rabbi Yitzchok, Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Gadi, Rabbi. We Be'ez Hashem to be proud of ourselves, and that the whole world will be proud of us. Be'ez Hashem to fill our tafkid. This may be Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, as we all work to fill our tafkid and become that Rabbi. Yaakov Avinu, he gave the brachas, parsha Vayechi, when he was dying. He wanted to megal the kids. For some reason he didn't. All of a sudden he started telling Reuven, this is your thing. Shimon, this is your thing. The Chaim was something else. He said the parsha beautiful. He wanted to megal the kids. He wanted to say when all the suffering, everything's going to be over. But he went to a different topic. He started telling Reuven, this is you. Shimon, this is you. This is what you. What's the kesha? He said in the parsha. There's two ways Mashiach should come. The Ito and Achishah. Mashiach has a certain time to come. The tzaras are over. When there's tikkun, habriya, from all the tzaras, it can come. But it can come earlier. Be'ito, achishenu, b'chol yom achakelo. Said the Mefarshim, Avinu bikesh legalas haketz, when it's going to finally be over all the suffering. But he sich l'dova achi, he said, I have a much better eitzah, something much better. If each and every one of you is masakin what he needs to become, Reuven b'choriyata, you are Indian, you have to masakin, Shimon, you are Indian, and the Mashiach could come right now, tomorrow, b'chol yom she'yavo. If we take this lesson, we open our hearts and take achrayas, Rabbi, then just maybe this year we'll finally hear the koilo shel Mashiach tzidkeinu from here of your middle.